Robert, it probably doesn't feel like a huge amount of time since you were last in action, obviously with the Saturday, Monday, bank holiday, before you're back at it again tomorrow. But first off the back of that kind of hectic weekend, how's the recovery been? How are the boys sort of looking since then?
Yeah, been good. Obviously 2 games very close together. I think it's just the points return was fantastic. Performance against Yeovil overall was really good against a very good team. Oldham, we were probably slightly disappointed with the second half, but in the context of everything, you've got to take the positives that if you're not going to play well, at least don't get beat and pick up a good point against a very good team. So no, overall it's been a manic 10 days with everything that happened. So it was nice to get a couple of days rest for the lads and then focus on Saturday. And then obviously I think 2 or 3 games in a row where it's just Saturday, which should give us a bit of time to prepare properly and get the lads ready.
Yeah, and of course back at home again tomorrow. Obviously performances and results have been going well for you. Well, not just at home but away as well, but 100% record at home at the minute for you. Things have been going positive on that front, but how much are you looking forward to not only just being back at home but obviously another big test against Eastleigh as well? Yeah,
it's going to be a good game. Obviously first v second early on, it probably is not a reflection on the league because it's very early days, you don't take too much from it, but you'd rather be in those positions, I suppose, for both of our clubs and get the points on the board early. So no, I expect it to be a really good game. Probably Eastleigh have definitely, since Kelvin's come in, definitely evolved themselves, and obviously they got the best striker in the league. He's a goal machine in McCullum, and they've got Maguire, Quigley, Shade. They've got really good players in every position. They're strong, they're powerful, they can play, but they can also be direct to put it in your box. So we're expecting a really difficult game, and we just got to go all out in terms of our style and the way we play, and never come away from that, because our strength and the reason we are where we are is because we always back our strengths, and I think we just have to always keep doing that regardless of the outcome of a Saturday. Is can we keep working on our strengths, can we keep focusing on them, and hopefully that leads to positive results as well at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned in terms of the game on Saturday being, I know it feels strange talking about league tables and stuff 5 games into the season, but early sort of pace setters in terms of form with yourself and Eastleigh, of course. But how has it been in terms of the sort of yourself and the boys looking at the overall picture? I know it's generally a thing where you don't really look at the league table too much and things like that, but you're obviously aware of the positions yourself.
Yeah, it's just top of the table clash, I suppose, all the generic sort of like phrases that people use, but I think it's a bit too far away from the end of the season to be talking about, being this, if this was April it'd be slightly different, but no, I think it's just 2 very good teams in good form, obviously started the season well, and just hopefully it'll be a good game of football. I thought the Oval game was a good game of football, I thought Oldham was as well, and I just want us to play well. Obviously there's a bit of a carrot that whoever wins will go top of the table, so I suppose it puts a little bit on it from an ego perspective as a club and as players, but I think we never really look into that too much, to be honest with you. We would want to make sure we still keep improving. We've had a little bit of adjustment from losing Joe and Greg, so we Foo Fighters, can't complain, but yeah, that little bit of it's the birthday boy Ben Worman, so we'll let him off. But we have a little bit of adjustment from losing Greg and Joe, who are 2 pivotal players. So the team's probably just adapting and shifting in terms of the personnel and the slight different tweaks to the way we're going to play. But overall, I think that's why I'm so proud of the squad, because even after losing both of those in different scenarios, the team picked up points, put in performances, and yeah, we're in a good position so far.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned Joe and Greg there. How are the pair of those doing at the minute? I mean, I have just seen Joe around the building today, actually, so obviously good to see him sort of in and backing around the boys a little bit.
Yeah, Joe's doing really well. His swelling's gone down his ankle. He's back with the lads now, which is massive for him. He'll be in the gym with Fraser, and yeah, he will obviously be stepping up his recovery. He's got to wait to a certain point and see the specialist again, but no, it's good. Everything's positive on that front. Greggy see the specialist yesterday, so obviously Greggy's going to be a bit of a longer one in terms of the recovery, making sure he's healing well from operations and whatnot. But yeah, no, he's doing okay. It's all positive so far, and hopefully we'll have Greg with us soon, back in with the squad, which will obviously be good for Greggy to get some routine and good for the lads to have the captain around the place. So no, look, still going to be a long time, still going to be longer injuries, but we just need to make sure we support them, and them to know that they're huge around the place, and they can bring so much to the group, not just on the pitch but off it as well, and they'll have huge roles to play in that.
Yeah, and how is everyone looking on the fitness front ahead of tomorrow? Obviously like we say, a hectic weekend last weekend, but on Monday as well, obviously good to see people like Charlie get his first start as well, which he probably hasn't had a huge amount of football in pre-season and things like that. So for him particularly, I imagine it's kind of acclimatising to things still a little as well.
Yeah, exactly. So what was good about Oldham is that, you know, you get people who've maybe not had the most clean pre-season, like Becky, Jean to a certain degree, and Charlie are able to come in, get minutes, and Ty had a niggle, so he was able to sort of get some minutes in terms of his hammy. So yeah, no, it was good in that sense from a physical point of view. Everyone's come through it really well. So yeah, a couple of niggles here and there, like with Tinks' back and Brandon's calves and all that sort of stuff, but the usual stuff you get after 2 quick games. So no, going into it looking pretty fresh, so it's makes my life difficult. But like I've said to the lads, is the difference this year with the 5 subs. And the way we play, the subs in the second half is huge, because teams can come with a game plan and they try and nullify, and for the first half or 60 minutes it can work, but then I think like we saw against Yeovil is when the game opens up and teams have to be a bit more forthcoming, or if they're going to be more aggressive, the spaces open up, and that's where we're probably at our best. So we just have to be patient sometimes with that and make sure we still keep trying to attack the goal and make sure all our players focused on scoring goals, because the more you threaten the goal that way, the easier it is to defend the goal at the other end. And to be fair, Saturday will be our biggest test against the statistically and probably fairly the best team in the league. That's why they're top, with probably some of the best individuals and definitely one of the best strikers in the league, or if not the best striker in the league in terms of goals and crosses.